Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. You know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and hit talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
Bang, bow. And for full effect, we got to go. Wait for it.
Oh, we're live. We're live. Just so you know, this is real. It's happening.
Here we go.
Boom.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys. What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, buddy. We got a nice episode for y'all today. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good one. A productive conversation will be had. Big Shaka, what's going on? Billy D, what it is? What up, bro?
Cool 45. Hey, man, what's going on with you?
I'm ready to go, as you can see.
I see. You must have some coffee today.
No, not at all. This is all faking the funk.
Oh, you should have saw the agility right before we started the show, though.
I knew you was gonna bring that up. I knew it.
Yo, you would have killed. You would have knocked them dead at the combine. Knocked them dead. Laura was good with it.
5'11", 280 pounds.
Hey, the same size as what's his name? What's the guy's name? That wrestler they wanted to make a defensive tackle.
Oh yeah,
right in there.
They did him so wrong.
Gable Steveson.
Yep. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Okay.
Good old Gable.
So a lot of good stuff today, but some very revealing stuff. First and foremost, I forgot to do this on Friday, and this needs to be done now. Somehow, God decided to allow the world to not have to suffer the pain that is Chuck Norris anymore.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris decided at 83, it was time.
Yeah.
For some reason or another, nobody will ever know. But
because death don't take Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris takes death.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So maybe Chuck Norris became death. Who
That's
knows?
right.
We don't know how that works.
I don't think we want to know because
no, not at all.
Don't ask the question. It's Chuck Norris.
That's right. Just know it was Chuck Norris and it was his decision.
It was his
not
decision.
Anybody else's.
He pushed the button. Oh. J-Ham, what it be like?
All right. So that was some stuff that I heard. There's something else too that was really interesting. I want to get to my bookmarks. Did you have anything before I go?
Nothing quick, but kind of.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So show me the money. Show me the money. JSN.
Oh, yeah.
4-year, $168.6 million deal. 4 years, $42.6 million or whatever it is, $16 million. Including $120 million guaranteed. $40 million guaranteed.
$40 million
guaranteed a season. I know home asked for $5. Let me get $5 off you, JSN.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean but the thing that I thought about when I heard that, I said, what if the Bills would have got him? What if he would have did what he was supposed to do with Josh Allen and commanded this kind of money in Buffalo? How would we have paid him? How would we afford to pay this guy? And I think this brings up the bigger discussion that I've always had on this show in terms of cap management. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we blow the money, we do this in third, but these are the kind of players I want to think about retaining, the kind of players I want to be involved in talks and when they become free agents and the team that they're on can't afford them any longer. I want to be like, oh yeah, next year, Trayvon Walker. Oh yeah, if they can't afford him, which they probably will, they'll find a way. But The point is, there are players every year that come out that make big splashes and the team can't afford them any longer. I would be like, yo, snatch them up. But when you're talking about $13 million to the good without a free agent, without your draft class signed, you're not in that position. So I think that kind of leads into your topic du jour, but I'll hold off on the rest of that conversation until you get whatever it was you had up.
All right. So really quick, the Bills, Kevin Massar actually on Twitter put this out 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And it is all of the Bills' core players. And basically the point that he was trying to make was all of Sean McDermott's core players haven't been signed by any other team yet. Like Epinesa and Cam Lewis were the only guys, realistically. You still got Milano out there, Bosa's out there, Daquan Jones, Trey White, Taylor Rapp, Shaq Thompson, Jackson. Ogunjobi is out there, and Hamlin.
Hamlin. Shaq
all
Thompson,
still
all
on
guys.
the market, right?
Jordan Phillips.
Yep. Now, he also then went on to say that he posted the cost of all of these players against the 2026 salary cap. Matt Milano at $11 million, Taron Johnson at $9 million, Joey Bosa at $7 million, Daquan Jones at $3 million, AJ Epinesa at $2 million, Larry Ogunjobi at $2 million, and Taylor Rapp at $600,000 to a total of $37 million for all of those players, who only one of which has been signed by another team at this point, counting against our cap for the 2026 season.
You know what's funny about this? A sidebar, not really a sidebar, but I was listening to Locked On Bills today, and Joe Marino, obviously, I have my things with him, but he went on like a 5-minute thing about how Daquan Jones makes a lot of sense for the Bills. I can tell you right now, Daquan Jones is coming back to Buffalo. Whatever happened with him in Buffalo, it's not happening. I think he soured on us. Maybe not us, but I think he soured on the organization.
Really?
I don't think Daquan, because when he was a free agent, what did he say? He said something to the effect of somebody called him out for liking another team, something or other. And he's like, I'm a free agent. And they're like, well, he's like, cry about it in Twitter. So it's like something must have happened. And I don't think he thinks very kindly about Buffalo. But Daquan Jones in this new defense, whatever you want to call it, would make a lot of sense. Because one, you have your two gapper, and you have a guy who has done it at a high level. You don't have to worry about Zion Logan, what he can possibly do. You don't have to worry about Vidarian Mathis and what he could possibly do.
Yeah.
So if I was the Bills, I would try to figure out what it is that we need to do with Daquan Jones, or what his price point is. Because as a holdover, that would be a nice little addition to have if you can't get a DJ Reader.
For sure, against the run.
Yeah.
I would explore that for the right price.
Timonius looks sick because he was right, and the Patriots on Twitter, I don't want him back anyway. All right, well, yeah. J Ham said Daquan hates us. I don't even know why. Honestly, I don't either. I just know he doesn't really care for the organization anymore. Maybe it was Sean McDermott, and honestly, that's very telling. And I think that also leads into your title too. How do the Bills actually attract free agents? Josh Allen being one. Sean McDermott was also one for some people. Now we have to see what they got to offer, because nobody's going to run to Buffalo to play on a lesser contract with the tax. I just bought a PlayStation 5 game and put it in my gas tank today. $70 into my gas tank. I don't think anybody's running to New York State.
No.
To do anything.
Nope. I do almost that much. In my car.
I mean, I was like 12 miles before I was empty. So I mean.
Oh yeah.
I take it down there. I take it to the nubs.
From empty, I'm about that with tax.
Yeah, I take it to the nubs.
I don't know why you do that. It's actually good once in a while to do it, because you don't want it. Like, my wife never gets to empty. She never gets to empty.
She doesn't either. Quarter tank.
But she'll only put $20 in there.
So she gets from the gas tank to your house, and that's it.
That's it. I mean, where she works is like less than a mile from the house.
I mean, same with T, but I'm like, yo.
Still, you gotta. I'd rather keep it on full than let it get all the way down to empty. Several times.
Yeah.
But anyway, to compound your point, I saw a very interesting interview that DJ Moore did with a guy that I think is a Chicago beat reporter, Chicago Bears beat reporter, and excuse me. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm fighting something off today, but we're gonna get through it. So interestingly enough, I found this after I had already come up with the title and all that kind of stuff, because I had watched the Bradley Chubb interview that he did on Teron Armstead's podcast. I don't know if you saw that one.
No.
Well, to kind of paraphrase him, he originally didn't intend on coming to Buffalo, especially as a Miami Dolphin. He heard the Bills wanted him. He was like, I ain't going to Buffalo. Like, he said that on the podcast. I didn't have time to grab that, but I did, make sure to timestamp this so that I could grab it. But this is DJ Moore talking with this beat reporter, and basically the overall sentiment is the same. It's I'm not going to Buffalo. Like, and he didn't say that, but I just want you to hear what he says, and then I want your reaction to it. Okay, here we go.
Man, dude, when do you go to Buffalo?
Whenever OTAs start.
Oh, so you're gonna stay in Chicago till then?
Yeah.
As little time in Buffalo hangouts as possible.
Little time.
Man, dude, are you gonna miss Chicago?
I am. Our two boys was born here, so of course I'm gonna miss it.
Tried to qualify.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. If I ever leave Houston, then like my daughter's a Texan, which is wild. It's so cool, bro. It's so badass to be from Texas.
Is it?
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Houston. Have you been to Houston?
So
I agree. It's not badass to be from Texas. Anyway, but yeah, no, I mean, the first thing I hear when I listen to that is I think about Jim Kelly. I think about Von Miller. I think about, Sean Merriman. I think about guys that don't want to come to Buffalo. I am not going to, and then they stay. And then they want to be here. So, yeah, I mean, for me, DJ Moore being 28, 29, it hits a little differently. Not that I care, like I'm not butthurt about it, but he might actually mean it, because he's not going to grow up here. He has ties elsewhere, and he's been elsewhere. But for rookies that come to Buffalo and say, I don't want to go to when Malik Neighbors and what's the Washington's quarterback's name? Jaden Daniels. When they were on the video call with Brian Thomas Jr., they were making fun of him. You're going to Buffalo. I mean, when you're 23 years old, it's like, I'm going to go to Buffalo. You go to Buffalo. Like, I could dig this a little bit. Yeah, I can make a home here because I'm young, and I could do Toronto. I could do Rochester. I could do Syria. I could go to Philly if I want to.
That's the first part of what you said, I think is what Buffalo kind of hones in on, because if you look at if you go back and watch the interview that Bradley Chubb did, he just got married. Right, and he's 30, and he ain't really looking for nightlife anyway, right? And this Bears beat reporter referenced the video that Marshawn Lynch did, where he was like, "I'm about to introduce y'all to Buffalo nightlife," and then he went to an Applebee's. Yeah, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, this is all they got. and the same thing, the same sentiment came from DJ Moore, where he was just kind of talking about like, wow, I'm married with 3 kids. I don't need no nightlife. I don't need to.
It's probably safer not to have the nightlife. Yeah.
Right. Which again, I'm married with 3 children. With 3 children. So it's not like it's a bad thing to be that kind of guy, in your personal life, coming here as a player. That's not the bad part. The part where I kind of get, a little trepidatious on is just basically like, is this the only type of player that you can attract here that you don't draft? You know what I'm saying? Because for all of the guys that have been out there, they traded for DJ Moore based on what DJ Moore said just here. Like, I don't want to live in Buffalo. Like, we ain't moving there. And earlier on in this, for context, earlier on in this interview, he did state that he looked around for houses. And I guess the housing market is a little too much here, and maybe you don't
ain't that crazy. A millionaire,
right?
That's nuts.
So he chose. He said, we're probably gonna just rent there, and a lot of players do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, don't ask James Cook about that. he's leaving. No, okay.
right. But that just kind of like I landed on, like, if you really think about all of the big time names that we've gotten here, and I guess when I say big time names, I just mean recognizable names across the league, right? Everybody knows who Bradley Chubb is. Everybody knows who DJ Moore is. So when you say those names, people hear like, oh, he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? But both of those guys married, almost 30. Towards the latter part of their careers. This is probably their third contract. Yeah, third contract for both of them. So this is not the, I'm in my prime, I'm going to Buffalo and I'm gonna live it up, and I'm gonna earn my third contract there, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not this destination. And my question to you and to everybody else in the chat today is, is that the type of team that you want to be known as? Is that the type of franchise that you want to be known as, where you really just come here to settle down and then exit the league? Like, this is like a soft landing spot for every player who's looking to still maybe have a shot, but if they don't make it, they could just gracefully bow out and everybody's fine.
Yeah, I think you'll see a shift in that paradigm, hopefully, because the third thing that young players look for is a team that's exciting to play for, a team that plays an exciting brand of football where they can pop, a team that they see. A player doesn't care as much where they play as long as they have an opportunity to make money. Whether it's staying in Buffalo, and that's a problem too. Buffalo's looking for people that are taking team-friendly deals. Josh Allen did it. James Cook did it. Connor McGovern did it. And on and on and on and on. You talk about Bradley Chubb. He said he's not going to Buffalo. I think you said, right? He said, I'm not going to play in Buffalo, Bradley Chubb.
Yeah. So originally when his agent contacted him and told him Buffalo was interested, he's like, I ain't going to Buffalo.
And that's the thing. And that falls into what I said last show, and Nico wants to call on link.
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, he's screaming at me there with regular letters.
He probably waiting to just come in here and smack us in the face with some real info.
Right. Slim Nate. No, I honestly, I don't know their addresses, most of them, but I know for the most part they live near the stadium. But no, Bradley Chubb, he said I'm not going to Buffalo because he thought there was a market for him. For me, there's a market, but it wasn't the market he thought. He probably got the best deal he could get in Buffalo. If it was a like contract, a like offer from anywhere else besides Buffalo, he probably would have taken that offer. But he said, you know what, I want blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, who you calling? I'm calling Philly. Philly's like, yeah, okay, we'll take you, but you're the number 3 on the depth chart. We'll give you $5 million a season. We'll go with Oakland. Okay, yeah, but we already got Malcolm Kuntz. We just signed. You'll be behind him and whoever else. I don't want to go there either. I want to start. I'm only 29, 30 years old. I want to be the potential to be the guy. He looks at Buffalo. He's like, I'm not going to Buffalo. He's like, wait, they got Michael Hoyt, who just came off of an Achilles. They got Javon Solomon, who's in year 3, who hasn't really popped yet. Greg Rousseau's a moot point because he's on the other side.
Right.
I can make it work here. I can do this. And, really I got to be there for 2 years. Okay. They're giving me, 14 per for 2 years. I can do that. So, yeah, I don't remember where he's from. I can't remember. Did he go to South Carolina? I don't remember where he went to college, but
who, Bradley Chubb?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Was it South Carolina?
But yeah, no, I can look it up. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, he's looking at, logistics and where he can make the most money. He can do the most he can in a little bit of time, and maybe
NC State.
Okay, I know it was a Carolina. I just couldn't remember which. He said, J Ham said, you know what? This is a good prompt. Very nice questions, brothers. We try. Let's see who else we have. Nothing. Okay, yeah. So
Crane Boy was right. He said NC State.
Yeah. So, when you look at who we're getting, I don't think it's that Buffalo's a pariah. It's just that, like I've been saying the whole time, and Dorothy kills me all the time when I say it. Josh Allen to an athlete is nice, but it's not the end all be all. Everybody does not care to play with Josh Allen, and that's it. Especially if you're in defense,
right?
On offense, they say I want to play with Josh because he's gonna give me the ball, and I'll make $40 million somewhere else if I have to. I want to play with Josh because I'm James Cook, and I can run because somebody's watching him. I know I'm nice, but somebody's watching him, and I ain't got to play next to the quarterback that nobody cares about. And so in that regard, offensive linemen are less than look better because Josh Allen runs. When you flush him out, he's out of there. So that's why they like playing with Josh Allen. But defensively, Von Miller, he said Bradley Chubb's gonna love it in Buffalo, blah blah blah. Some young cats are old heads.
Yeah.
I mean, my son was listening to Kim without even being prompted. He was listening to New Edition, Cool It Now, for no apparent reason at all. He's 9. Some of these people are like this, and that's the thing that people have to realize. Everybody that's young doesn't want a nightlife. Some people are trying to get away from it.
That's true.
Some people are like, yo, I know myself. I'm trying to be hidden, tucked away. Like Josh Allen said, I don't want to be I want to be tucked away somewhere where I can focus on my craft. We are, you get to Buffalo, I think Nate asked, don't they have a nightlife in Toronto and Ontario, Niagara Falls? Yeah, they do. But it's just the fact that Let's see. Laura said Buffalo used to have a great nightlife. Rochester too. COVID killed a lot of that. Too much gunplay here in Rochester City killed it. Buffalo as well. But you know, I mean, that's the thing. You know, they're not old enough to get into the places that are actually pretty fun in Buffalo. You know, that's the thing. Veronica said the city's ran by lame old stinky farts.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to spend my free time here. I mean, yeah, but there's a lot of things in Buffalo, and don't make me go on a rant about what Buffalo has offered, because I won't do that. Aaron will kick me off the show.
Well, you're about twice as old as I am, so
I mean, I know. Yeah, I know. But you know, it's like it depends on what you like doing. It really depends. I like to eat. I like to, you know, you could pop up on a festival, you could pop up on something and learn, you know, and that's the thing I like about Buffalo. It's not just going to smack you in the face, but if you go to Atlanta, you go to LA, you go to these, they like Buffalo because it's different. See, we're from here, and trust me, I know. I went to the airport, they're like, man, I love it here, I'm coming back. I'm like, ain't you from? Yeah, but it's great here. I'm like, okay, all right, you know, but when you go there, you're like, yo, this is crazy because it's different.
Right.
Everybody gets tired, and some people leave and come back. Why? Because they're like, it wasn't for me. It was cool. I experienced it, but I didn't really care for it. I had a friend that went to Atlanta, and they hated the traffic. You know, they hate this, but they come to Buffalo. We call traffic 20-minute jams. Like, that ain't nothing. I'm going back.
Right.
You know, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that factors into the old dusty, crusty Buffalo that people don't always think about.
Well, you can have fun defending that your whole life. I still think I agree with Veronica. I just and I guess the standpoint I'm coming from is, if you look at the motto that is painted on one of the buildings downtown, it's keep Buffalo a secret. Keep Buffalo a secret. Like, why? Nico, we'll get to you in 1 second. Like, in my opinion, if this city is so great, then you should be inviting more people to come here, because what that does for us is that helps the city do what? Grow. And if we can grow, guess what else happens? We're going to have more people who are making more money here. There's going to be a demand for jobs. There's already a demand for housing because it's cheaper to live in Buffalo. So to me, like, I've always been of the mindset, like, let's blow this thing up. Let's be the next New York City. But for some reason, everybody here is like, no, stay in your place. Don't get too big. Don't you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I like to get bigger, but I don't want to be New York City and LA. I like to be bigger.
Okay.
So
can we be Cleveland big?
Is that really big?
It's bigger than us.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I'm talking about bigger than that. I mean, there's a big difference between Buffalo and New York City. You know, some middle area.
So
I don't know exactly what it would be, but you know, for me, it's my thought process is a destination for something. Like, you know, we're known for something besides wings and beef on wick until you come to Buffalo, and people that don't go to Buffalo, like, what the hell's a beef on wick? You know, I just don't know what bigger is. In Lynn, if you can find a cow in the city of Buffalo, you can tip it all you want. I don't know where you're gonna see a cow there,
no,
but it might have some hoods. Yeah, it might. Go one in. Remember they had the what was it they had? It was, I forgot what it was. It was something crazy they found in a house in Buffalo. It was something ridiculous. But at any rate, no. Let's see. J Ham said Z-Bot made this point. A lot of players like the aspect that it's a football city. The players love the fact that the city is surrounded by what they do for a living. Yeah, I can agree some of that.
You said what? Where is that?
Oh, right here. Z-Bot made this point. A lot of players like the aspect that it's a football city. The players love the fact that the city is surrounded by what they do for a living. I believe that's what.
I mean, they say that because the draw is and they all say this. They say the college atmosphere, right? Buffalo as a city and as a fan base is a lot like a college town. Now, what does that point to for those players who value that in a city? That points to a level of nostalgia. And I think everybody's entitled to experiencing nostalgia. It's cathartic, right? But again, do we want to be known for that? Are we a fan base that is happy being seen as this backwater, blue collar hick town that tips cows and there's really nothing else to? Because, like, I've driven through some of the like really small towns between here and Pennsylvania or here in New York City. And driving through those places, I couldn't imagine there only being one gas station and one convenience store and one bar in the whole area amongst 20 houses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody knows Merle behind the front counter.
Yeah, like there's only one mechanic shop.
The regular,
one
some Skittles, some Longs, some Laffy Tappies. Yeah, no.
Like that would not be the life for me. Now, those people in that small town, if they were to come here, they might feel like it's too much, it's too busy, blah, blah, blah. There might be some people that grow up in that town that feel like I gotta get out of here. It's too what's the word?
Confined. Yeah,
it's too confining. You know what I'm saying? They may want to break out, but I guess that's why I asked the question, because for me, I don't want to be New York City or LA, but can I be Kansas City? Can I be Minneapolis? Can I be
Kansas City? They have no team.
Can I be Houston? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I be I can't be Miami. Can I be North Carolina? Can I be Charlotte? You know what I'm saying? Like those are places that are significantly bigger than Buffalo, but also at the same time have a they take advantage of the draw that they have. Like, we have so much good food here. We don't push that out. Like, people just know because when they visit here, they try it and it's good. We got word of mouth, but you got so many attractions that people are going to in Charlotte. You got all kind of stuff. You got all kind of attractions in Minneapolis that people are being drawn to.
Right. See, that's the aspect I'm talking about. Bigger. J Ham. Genuine question for you both. Have you lived in a big city? No, I have. Well, no, I have not. Actually, where is this at? So everybody.
I'm looking at Nate's comment. One of these small towns was mine.
I put that up there when you were talking. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's what I mean by bigger. You know, being able to go to something, because even as a kid, we used to be able to. We had stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the way of the world is shifting, and we don't really know what it is. You know, because you talked to T, and she's like, when we were coming back from the Poconos, and we saw the ride. It's like a house here, and then like nothing. She's like, "Ooh, that's me." I'm like, "The hell is not me." I can't move from Niagara Falls Boulevard because everything is right there.
Yeah.
I gotta have this. But see, that's the hustle and bustle. That's my line of work. That's it right there. You know, you talking about you going down to New York City where they have in taxi cabs and this, everybody's running. Nah.
I really thought about it. Like when me and Caitlin went down there for we went to go see the lights. So we did the whole tour down Fifth Avenue and all that kind of stuff. And then we went and, took pictures by the tree and everything. And like, we really talked about it because she loves, and we were just in Manhattan. Right. Like we had been to the Bronx before, and we had been to Long Island where her mom is from. But she was just like, in awe of the vibes and in love with it. And I had to really think, like, could I see me living here with my younger children? My oldest son would probably want to stay here, but I just couldn't see it. It like there would be way too much going on, and there's a lot going on now. Like I don't half the time I don't even know what day it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I only know when Mondays and Fridays are because it's just programmed in me. I got to remember to put a thumbnail out the night before. So that's how I keep track of the days.
I was saying, gotta get my kids to school.
No, do I have to put a thumbnail out is the way I measure what day it is.
My thing is, what's Ken's mood? Is he pissed? It's Sunday. Is he ecstatic? It's Friday. Everything else is just
That's a great gauge. That is a great gauge.
But yeah, no, who was it?
I'm sorry, we got Nico waiting. My bad, Nico. Oh. Yep. Okay, my bad, Nico.
Damn, took you long enough.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good, brother.
What's up?
Oh, hey, so let's be honest. It's not New York. What Orchard Park is trying to be. I think it's the same issues has the NBA has with Cleveland, because when LeBron left, the economy went down for a reason. Nobody wanted to go there. Nobody wanted to be in Cleveland. Nobody wanted to get traded in Cleveland. You wake up, you go to sleep in Miami. Next thing you know, you wake up in Cleveland because you just got traded. But nobody wants to be there for the same reason. I think it's not. I don't think in the Bills have that issue yet, and we won't know until Josh Allen's not there no more. because it's always been that Josh Allen effect, and it carries over more than what he gets people in the bars. He gets why are teams, media's always talking about the Bills when season starts. It's one of the tops because of Josh Allen.
Yep.
And he's put that city on the map because it wasn't there on the map for a very long time. And let's be honest, Josh Allen doesn't live in Buffalo all year long. He's a Cali.
Yeah.
He's a Cali kid. So what do you think he does in his off seasons? Go straight to California, to his ranch, to his home in LA because his lady they have a house out there now because he's married now. So, I mean, the guys that don't want to come over here and don't want to spend time in the off season over here, we can't fault them because our generational talent quarterback doesn't do that. So why should we expect other players to do the same? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so. I'm from Cali. I'm from SD. If they tell me, hey, you got to reroute you to Miami or North Carolina, I'm gonna be thinking it over because even though there's no state tax in Florida, I don't know. I have kids and family down here.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not the lifestyle might be the same, but it's just the whole rerouting thing, and it's not so much that he doesn't reroute to Buffalo. Would he have had the same response if he said, "Oh, you got traded to Houston, you got traded to Dallas, you got traded to the San Francisco 49ers"?
Yeah.
Would he say? Would he all of a sudden say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to reroute my kids right now"? Oh, we're going to go. We're going to start packing and leaving now.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I look at it just like buying jerseys. I'm not going to be loyal to anything that can move me just like that. So if I'm going to Buffalo, going to Detroit, going to Denver, the city I love so much, I'm not moving there because after a season they could move me again. So I'm going to leave my people where they are and we'll rent or we'll lease, whatever the case may be, until I know where I want to be, even if I'm not playing there anymore. In terms of the tax and stuff like that, that's a lot of stuff people don't think about. They got the yacht tax and when you're thinking about what do I want to do after football? What is in Miami for me after football as a 38-year-old person, as a 40-year-old man? What's in these happening cities, Atlanta, for me? What's in Houston for me? What kind of lifestyle do I want to live when I hit, my retirement age? Is this city somewhere I want to stay? And that's where Jim Kelly's and Thurman Thomas's and stuff like that, why they stay in Buffalo, because after they retired, it suited their lifestyle. They saw they could make money here. They could be a name here. They could have a lifestyle that's conducive to what they wanted to do in their twilight years, if that's where they are right now.
But you brought up a good point. Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas were drafted at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't traded later on in their life when they already had kids and a family somewhere else. So that's what made it more easy for those guys to kind of, they built their life. The kids were there, born there, and everything. It was a nice transition where he didn't have to think about it, opposed to the Chubbs and the DJ Moores, who already had a family established somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
What's funny about that, though, if you look what we're talking about in terms of Bradley Chubb and free agency, there was no free agency the way we know it back then. So if you got drafted somewhere, that's where you're going to be. I did my research, and this is not for you, Nico. I'm talking to you on the phone. That's fine. Before I think 93, if you wanted a player from another team, you had to compensate that team in money and as well as pay that player.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just sign him scot-free. You had to do stuff for that. It's like a dowry almost. I have to offer you this in order for this player that's not even yours anymore to come to me. And going back further, it's even more restrictive. It's funny that the Bills' reign ended right when the free agency period changed. You find that interesting. All the guys we had that got us to the promised land were aged out or left because they now could.
Yeah.
Whereas Jim Kelly's and Kelly said, I'm not going to Buffalo. I don't care. I'm going to USFL.
Yep.
I'm not going to Buffalo. And they're like, well, I think you are. And he came, he said, I'm not staying there.
Because he wasn't going nowhere else. That's why he came back here. Right. He wasn't doing nothing else.
And that's the thing. Like, you talk to them now, it's like they're advocates for Buffalo for whatever reason. I can tell you personally, I'm not going to get into what I know about them. Jim Kelly loves Buffalo, and others stay here because of financial reasons, for financial gain. So, take that for whatever you want it to be. But like I said, when you're throwing camps, when you're doing these baseball games, when you're doing all these things, there's a legacy you're leaving.
Yeah.
And whether or not you want to be in Buffalo, you're embraced there. And after a while, you're like, you know what? It's almost like you're a made man. I'm untouchable now in the city because of the stuff I did from when I had the money, when I had the fame, when I had this. Now I can chill off in the cut. And the city's small enough that they know me. I'm Atlanta. I'm just another face. Nobody's gonna recognize you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
In Houston. Well, Houston's not as big, but LA will say. But in Buffalo, you can't go to Tops without like, yo, and you feel good because I was him.
Right.
I was him. They still got my cereal on the Wegman shelf, and I haven't played in 20 years or whatever, And that some of them it feels good, whether they're cocky or just it makes them just warm inside. And that's the nostalgia. That's what Buffalo fans bring to the alumni in Buffalo, especially.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, like I said, it's just those guys were, like I said, they didn't want to come, but they ended up staying, like Jim, and then he built a family here. And it's at the end of the day, that's what it mattered to him. And it is what it is. With these other free agents, like you said, there's so much more options and variables that go into getting traded or even signing as a free agent that back then you didn't have, like you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, but I mean, come on, let's be honest. Most of these guys don't even stay where they're drafted or they play for. Most of them, they go back to their hometown, wherever it is. They train in the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
They have their seminars. They have their tight end stuff and whatever university, whatever, all on the West Coast.
Yep.
So, I mean, are we going to fault the guy that just doesn't want to just root up his whole family for just, because he got traded? No, and we shouldn't hold it against him. It's his personal. It's a personal preference. It has nothing to do with the team.
No, I get that. I think the notion for me is this is part of the reason why I really want the Bills to be a team that focuses on drafting well, because at the end of the day, like you said, once Josh Allen leaves, we don't know what we're going to have here in terms of attraction to the city. There is no more, Josh, because this is the other thing that DJ Moore said, and we can get more into detail on this in a second, but DJ Moore mentioned that he didn't find out until he didn't find out that Buffalo was interested as a trade partner until Josh Allen called him. Right?
Oh wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so this was in this interview. I'll post it in the post section on our channel so everybody can check it out. But basically, he said he didn't know about any of the teams that were interested in him, and then Josh called him, and that's when he kind of had an idea that the Bills were interested in him. So from there, it's like, okay, well, if there's no Josh to make that phone call, is DJ Moore interested? You know what I'm saying? Is he interested in coming here if it's, one of these quarterbacks out of this draft? Like, I don't know if he's, gonna be like, a Darius Slay and be like, well, I'll just retire. I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see that Darius Slay thing, that for what Nico just said, that rubbed me the wrong way, how we took it and ran with it. Not on this show per se, but the media in Buffalo. Oh, it's just that Darius Slay said, I told them before they traded for me, I wasn't coming.
Yes,
I told them.
Yep.
I'm not coming to Buffalo. And and then evidently he said that the Bills said they would release him after they played the Eagles or whatever the case may be, and they didn't do that. But he said, I'm not coming. I'll just retire. And they still and see, this is where I don't see my buddy in here, but this is where that whole Bean and McDermott thing goes. What did McDermott mean when he said, why don't you ask? I don't know about Slay. Ask Bean about that. Why are you asking Bean? Because you knew what Slay said. Slay said, I told him. McDermott said, I knew he went. So not only did you not give me a cornerback, but you lost the one I had. You lost to Marcus Ingram, who I liked. And I don't have anything to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm saying when I say the fracture between McBean and the ultimate setup, the Julius Caesar moment. It commenced. And the writing was on the wall in 2023, 2024, and 2025, really, if you think about it. Stuff started to not happen the way it used to.
Yep. J Ham says, to be honest, I think he likes Joe Brady as well. That was another thing that DJ Moore did mention in that podcast episode, or that interview, I guess.
Nico, what else you got? Nico?
Oh, nothing, man. That was it. Thank you for taking my call, brothers.
Bro, anytime. You already know.
All right. Thank you, brothers.
All right, see
man.
you later.
Take care.
Later.
I didn't want to hold him on there. We're going to the car. I was like,
No,
bad, Nico.
I was gonna ask him if he had anything else.
like, my bad, Nico. But yeah, no, the Jay Ham said Darius Slay situation is Bean's biggest slight on his career. It's up there. It's up there. And I'm not saying that to say Bean has a lot of them, but it's definitely up there. Because like I said, when that happened, I said you didn't have any indication he wasn't gonna come to Buffalo at 34 years old. What are you doing to him? He's like, I can retire. I've already made my money. I want to go where I want to go to finish up. If I can't go there, I'm done. What makes you think you're not going to talk me into this?
Right.
And they said, oh, you will. He said, I'm not even coming for you to talk to me. Sorry.
Yep. So real quick, one of the other things that was mentioned, well, let's stay here.
I'm staying in the moment with you, wherever you want to be.
So the idea of the enticement to the city. So I guess the one thing I wanted to finish off with that on is to just kind of expound on the drafting point. I think with where we are now, and because I was talking to Tommy about this a little bit earlier, with where the Bills are right now, I think it's been very clear in history's in the history of Brandon Beane signing players and drafting players that wherever the glaring hole is when they go to the draft, that's likely the position that they're going to try to get in the first round. And they like to say best player available, but I'm sorry. Unfortunately, right now you've got a left guard making $3 million, and they just gave him that $3 million this year. So to pay Alec Anderson $3 million, that tells me they see him as a backup. Because if they saw him as a starter, he would get at least 6 or 7, at least. So if they're putting him at 3 and they're saying, well, if we can't get anybody else that we want, then he'll be the fallback, or we'll go find somebody else for him to compete with. That tells me 26, there's probably a lineman there that they really, really like, because aside from that,
I was going to ask you about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I can't see any other position on this team right now where they haven't filled it with a player that is expected to start, right? And that includes TJ Sanders at the defensive end position. Like, he's going in as a second-year player. He's going to start for where he was drafted and all that. And then you look at D. Alford as your nickel. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is your starting safety. Bradley Chubb is your outside linebacker opposite Greg Rousseau. Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard are penciled in as the starters day one right now. Like, there's nowhere on defense that I can see a guy getting picked at 26 and coming in and just taking a spot that's open to be taken. On offense, DJ Moore, Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir, those are your starting 3 receivers. Then you got Deion Dawkins, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance, and Spencer Brown as your bona fide starters that have been there the whole time. Dawson Knox, he's penciled in as the number 1 starter. Like, the only position is left guard. I
was thinking, what would you guys do if we took Emilio Perignon at 26 out of Oregon? 6'5", 318. A guard in the first round for the Bills, that'd be crazy to me. But I mean, I could see it. I could see it. I'm okay with it. I
wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, he's got good moves. He's sticky. He's got some things he needs to work on in pass pro, but he's good enough. I just don't think Alec Anderson at $3 million is their de facto penciled in penned in concrete answer. I think Samantha said Alec not giving up that spot. Good. I'm sorry. Samantha, I'm sorry. And I meant to touch on that. Right. I meant to touch on that.
Or you call him E41.
But I meant to touch on that. They're like, you ain't got to explain why that's your name. I don't even care. I'm happy you're here. And I will take it.
Backstory behind that.
He's just daughter's
account. E and 4L behind you. I need to know why.
That's E40's cousin. What's up, my weaponization? No. Well, no. Len, you don't need a nose tackle in round 1. You can get Dante Corleone in round 3. You can get. Samantha, I already know. You ain't got to worry about it. But you can get. So my kids did that BS. You good.
Yo, that's like me. So my youngest son made my Netflix profile romance from K-pop, whatever, K-pop Demon Hunters. And like my profile picture is romance. And then he put the name there, he typed the name in there, romance. Like, what are we doing?
Yo, what you want, man?
Yeah.
What you want? Because I ain't never watched no K-pop Demon. I'm like, what you want, man? What's this? I'm not clicking on his profile. I don't know what's in there. Anyway, I digress.
Now when we have company, I don't put Netflix on at all. Like, we'll just watch YouTube TV or something.
We'll just watch YouTube. But yeah, no. Billy D said, we've already talked about this, Billy D. We're not getting the dude from Penn State unless you're going to trade way up for him. And see, that right there is my issue with the DJ Moore signing. I had a whole thing about everybody's talking about Jordan Tyson dropping, Makai Lemon dropping to 20-ish. And I'm like, wow, 20, that seems to be where BTJ got drafted, and we could have moved up, we didn't do that. Maybe this year we'll do it. We got a second round draft pick. No, we don't. We have a wide receiver now. Great. So what would it take to move to 20 from 26? Probably a first and a third. Are you one to not have but one draft pick for the first 3 rounds of the draft?
It'd probably work better for your salary cap.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I've been trying to pound in people's head. I'm not mad about DJ Moore. I'm not going to argue DJ Moore. That's a moot point. I'm trying to get to the point where we can get to the guys that are the guys in free agency and still get these kind of players in the draft.
So let me ask you this.
Yes,
as far as the draft is concerned, which approach do you find yourself more prone to, right? And I guess let's just keep it to this situation right now, because the Bills have about $12 million in cap space right now.
Right.
And about 9 to 10 of that is going to be for draft picks, depending on what they do. Is if they trade up, obviously that changes, a good amount of that. But would you prefer to trade up and maybe pay a little bit more for that first round pick, but not pay as much for your overall draft picks, because obviously you have less draft picks? Or would you rather trade back and you have more guys, but you're probably spending a little bit more because obviously you have more draft picks?
Yeah, I think in this regard, without that second round draft pick, we have to figure out how to get more guys.
Okay.
Because my heart really wants to trade up and get freaky with it with Tyson and Makai Lemon with a pass rusher. Even if what's his name, Ruben Bain dropped to 20, I'm like, oh yes, or Cassius Howell, yes. But now I'm like, okay, now we mortgage the whole draft basically on DJ Moore, this person, and whatever depth we have in the back. See, I listened to a lot of podcasts in the last weekend or so, and they were all talking about holes we have, and all the holes we're talking about is depth.
Right. That's what's so frustrating about
this. Like later for that.
Yeah.
We need to get better on the top end, because most of the guys that we're talking about as starters can be replaced. We should at least try to.
Right.
And so I think with regards to how we're going to do this draft, how we should have did free agency, you shouldn't go into an offseason saying more guys are concreted in than not, especially if you don't have the guys that have 6-7 interceptions, have a 15 sack guy or whatever, double-digit sack guy, somebody that's giving you the results that you asked for, and not somebody that's like, he's good enough, we drafted him. Like iron sharpens iron, make iron sharpen iron. Like whoever said, Sampson said, Alex not giving up that spot. Make him prove it.
Right.
Make him worry about it. Because guess what? If he wins it, that means he won it. We don't want any more Levi Wallace's. Yeah, I said that. You're welcome. But we don't want that anymore. We want a churn of athletes. We want a churn of talent. Deion Dawkins, when we talked about Deion Dawkins extending him, I don't want to extend him as a starter unless he earned it. I want him to fight for his life against Tylen Grable or whoever they bring on, saying you need competition.
Right. That's been the biggest thing that they don't do with their draft picks. It's almost as if whoever they draft is expected to come in and just purely back up whoever's there and develop. They don't draft players that could come in and push some of these starters who may be here to just collect a paycheck.
Mhm.
We don't know the heart of all these men that come and sign here.
Right.
Some of these guys could just be here. Hey, I'm on the end of my contract. CJ Gardner-Johnson could be using this opportunity to pitch himself to other teams for next year. We don't know. He's only 27, 28 years old.
Mhm.
So he's probably still got another contract coming after this. But the point is, and again, I was saying this in my conversation with Tommy earlier, is you have to be known for something as a GM.
Yeah.
Most GMs that you see on really good teams, they have a pipeline of certain positions, right? If I'm good at drafting corners, I'm just gonna keep churning out a pipeline of good corners. When the Patriots were great, they were churning out a pipeline of good quarterbacks. And they may not be great quarterbacks for other teams, but they were great when they were with the Patriots, good enough to get them draft picks for those guys that they could turn into other players. But instead of doing that, instead of focusing on, and really what this falls into is it kind of blows this idea of best player available out of the water, because you're not actually taking the best player available. You're taking guys that need time to develop. That's not the best player available.
Right.
If you were doing that, then some of these starters would be challenged. Some of their jobs would be taken.
Yep.
And then what?
Yeah. I mean, that's the gotcha. When you have a Taylor Rapp, who is a influx guy from another team, and you're not paying a high end contract to, why is this job not up for grabs? You know, when you have who is it? Somebody said if Bernard goes down, we're screwed. We know that. And the point is, I'm not coming at you with that, but where's the guy that comes in if he gets hurt? Where's the guy that succeeds him? Where's your I forgot his name that fast. Linebacker from LSU. He just ran a 4.38. Your Harold Perkins Jr. You got to get him. He's a 5th round draft pick. He's a 5th rounder. Why can't you get somebody like that and say, you know what, Bernard, we love you. You're in the plans for the future, but we're going to get somebody behind you because we know what might happen. You know, people talk about Matt Milano, bringing him back. Well, this is my kick. You bring Matt Milano back, that's another notch on Bean's naughty list.
Right.
Because what you could have did with Milano is you could have extended him as opposed to making him take a pay cut and then lopping off a year of his contract. You extend him, you spread out his cap hit, you make him cheaper, and now he's a backup if he can't go. I mean, him and Bernard can fight it out. They can fight it out for that position. You know, especially with Milano being 31 or 30, whatever he is now, 32 years old. He knows he's at the end. But if you're paying him a fringe starter salary, he's not going to complain too much to finish with the team he started and have a job. Now he's out there looking for a job. He didn't retire, but he's nowhere. And on your list, you said that. I mean, that's the thing. You know, Milano might be the old regime, but the point is Milano is an apex player in Jim Leonard's type formation. I mean, he'd be the elite. He'd be the prototype for a linebacker in this formation.
Well, you might not like this then, because one of the other things that DJ Moore said, and this is what I was trying to hold off on. One of the other things that DJ Moore said, he said he asked, I think the guy asked like who all is in Buffalo, or who's there in Buffalo, that you know from Carolina, right? And DJ Moore, the guy doing the interview, the beat reporter mentioned Shaq, and DJ Moore said, "Yeah, he's in Buffalo."
Sure.
That's kind of. I'm just saying, just don't be surprised if after the draft, the Bills have not drafted a linebacker in the first half of the draft, and then they come back and give Shaq Thompson a vet min deal or something. I don't think he'll
be the only one on that list either. There's a reason why Trey White hasn't signed anywhere. There's a reason why. That doesn't surprise me at all. It's going to make people mad.
Think those guys are going to come back?
Not all of them, but I mean, Damar Hamlin, that's different.
No,
that's different. But like a Trey White was not. I mean, I could see he the defense is based on man match. It's based on zone corners, stuff like that. That Trey White's actually pretty good at. So as a backup, I can see him because we have nobody. We have Corey Couch, I think is who they have right now as
a safety.
No, he's a corner. I mean, he could be a safety. Who knows what he is right now? Who knows?
He don't play like a corner, bro. He's a safety.
What happened to what's his name? What happened to Ken I Lovely? Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Just screw him.
Some of the team snatched him up, didn't they?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I'm thinking of Samson, we about to not be friends. He said Kyrie's a free agent. He is a free agent.
Although, I mean, he's a man corner.
Yeah, he is a free agent. But no, Nady said, "Oh, when they whispers in the mic, you better listen." But no, no, Shaq Thompson doesn't surprise me. He'd be great as a battle piece for Dorian Williams.
Yeah,
because they both play that position.
Yep.
See, what people don't realize is the tight formation is not a whole different thing. All it is you bring your five techs to the 4-eye. That keeps your linebackers clean. Mm-hmm. The whole point of this defense is to keep your linebackers clean so they can blitz and one can cover.
Right.
That's the whole point of it. It's not nothing abstract. They just find different formations, whether it's 2-4-2, 2-4-5, whatever. It's not brain surgery. So you could call it a 3-4 if you want. It's just not what you think it is. When people say you need this, you need that, it's not the same concept. But no, yeah, Matt Milano in that would be the cover guy. He'd be the guy that's roving, scraping, blitzing. Him and Bernard are pretty much the same guy.
Yep.
You know, that's what it is.
Just without the steroids, pretty much.
Yes. Without the steroids, and yes. I think there was somebody else said something. Yeah, Samson said I could see Shaq. Trey's very much welcome. I think Trey would have no problem doing that. Elam did go to Tennessee, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
I think so. What about Owens at safety next to Bishop? Doing Simone Biles in Buffalo? No, I'm joking. But no, I don't know enough about Owens, his play. Billy D, exactly. 3-3-5 flex. That's exactly what it is.
So a little bit of what they've been doing from last year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. 3-3-5 flex. And I mean, that's the thing. When you think about who they brought in at the nickel safety, it tells you what they're doing. You brought in Alfred with a 3-year deal. You brought in CJ Gardner-Johnson, who will get another contract if he's not a head case.
Yep.
Believe me. Darren, I want to call him Darren Stone because he's from Buffalo and he played for the Bears. But Geno Stone, he's more that nickel safety kind of Byron Scott. Remember him? Byron Scott guy, the linebacker we had way back that played that safety linebacker hybrid thing under, was it Jerron maybe? It was a long time ago. But
Brian Scott.
Yeah.
Brian Scott.
Yeah. Yep. So, we had him, and I could see Stone doing the same kind of deal. I don't know exactly what he did in Baltimore, but I think, let's see, D said you guys 3-4 is going to be similar to the 3-4 the Giants ran with LT. Yeah. I can see that. But yeah, that's the thing, and Elam owes us some money. I mean, we gave it to him. We didn't have to.
Elam owe us some money.
We didn't have to give him any money, and we did. Because he had a notebook.
I blame Bean more for that. I mean, if you knew like that should have been the first domino in people's minds of the diminishing of the relationship between Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott from months after everything that we reported. Right. And I just mean, like, that was probably the most public thing that they could have, put out there, was the disagreement on whether or not Kaiir Elam should play. Mm-hmm. Because ideally you have a player here who was drafted in the first round, you traded up to get him, and then you're in a position where your head coach doesn't want to play him, but your GM is not trading him away to try and get value either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't like, to me that it screams, I apologize, I'm fighting through this. It screams to me that there's a disconnect in the building that is causing them to make bad decisions. And frankly, for the owner to let it go on this long and then finally decide that it's the coach's fault and not both.
Right.
Like that, I think that's why there's been so much, heat on Bean, because there's plenty of times like this, like the Kaiir Elam move, where that was on both guys. Mm-hmm. And when you miss on a starting corner like that, they got lucky that Christian Benford was able to step in. Right. But that's still a huge miss as a first-round pick. That still sets you back, because at that point, you should have had 2 starting corners. Yeah. You only got 1.
Yeah. Let somebody get Aaron Sanu knows stat. Dank, what's a good move he made? I think. Okay, let me put it like this. I can't tell you a good move because they weren't on the same page, like Airman said. There's a lot of players we brought in I thought could have worked. There's a lot of players that we had that we didn't use that I thought could have been something. There's a lot of players that you guys were like, Key, are you smoking? You actually thought that guy was good because they brought him in, and what they say, what did they say? McDermott's defense is it's a lot. It's a lot to learn. Okay. So why are you getting guys that have learning problem? Not learning problem, but guys that are slow on the draw. Mm-hmm. They said Max Harrison was slow on the draw, but he could ball.
Right.
So you know these things by deducing, because that was the thing on Max. It took him a little longer to pick stuff up in college. So you're bringing in guys that takes a little longer to pick stuff up on. Knowing the coach's defense is difficult.
I'll give a good move, and there are several. There's several.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
I don't want Dank to think that we only focus on what goes wrong.
Honestly, I don't think this time it's us. I hope.
What do you mean?
Because the comment section was naming off stuff.
No. Dank knows what I'm talking about. He put a comment on another video that I'm talking about. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. But a good move, honestly, that the Bills made was trading up for Tremaine Edmonds. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but if you look at his evolution in New York, not in New York, in Chicago, he got better against the run. And furthermore, I think the part of Tremaine Edmonds' game that didn't evolve here was primarily because of the style of defense that he was playing in.
Right.
It wasn't a top down go, stick your nose in there type of defense. What was supposed to happen is a lot of what's going to happen in this Mint defense now, where the linemen are taking up the blockers and keeping the linemen are going to take up the offense, the D linemen are going to take up the blocks, and the linebackers are going to be able to run free. That's what Edmonds was supposed to be dealing with. But because you kept putting nobodies next to Ed Oliver, it couldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's why I contend that Bernard is going to be decent. If he's healthy, he'll be good. You will be surprised at what he comes up with if he's healthy this year. That's a big if.
Yeah, free linebackers with speed and good. How can I say this? Good ability to read the play as it's developing, which Terrell Bernard has, is going to be a huge benefit for any team. You know what I mean? Because ideally, you got a very athletic, big guy out there that can play coverage, that can beat most running backs to the point, to the contact point.
Yeah.
And that makes it very hard for a defense in this day and age where everything has to be faster to get anything going. Because you got a guy that's just as fast as any running back you're going to have in the league, and a guy that can diagnose in the passing game. So,
I mean, I'll tell you the main concept of the defense is the Mint defense is what happens is your 3 or 4 linemen are supposed to compress the offensive line. The running back's going to be looking for a gap. They're going to spill them outside of the C gap to outside of the tackle where there's an open linebacker waiting for him. If they allow you to go through the B gap, there's a linebacker that's going to be untouched, waiting for you to pop through that B gap. You can pop you back through the B gap. So it's really dictating where we want you to run. And it's not asking for guys to do two gapping, which in the traditional sense of 3-4 that's what they're doing. Gregory So will never 2-gap in a traditional 3-4. Ed Oliver will never 2-gap in a traditional 3-4. What they're going to do is they're going to shoot across to B gaps. They're going to shoot and twist and creep. So what they're going to do is they're going to simulate pressures. So the offensive line never knows what the fourth guy is coming out of whatever your look is. J-Ham asked, in our opinion, how hard do we think the defense was? I play D-line. I tell you tap my butt on the left side, I do this. You tap my butt on the right side, I do that. Otherwise, I'm going that way. I don't know exactly man matching and all that. I feel like that's something that happens in college. That happens a lot in the higher levels of college. So I don't think it should have been as big of a deal as they make it out to be. I just think that honestly, I don't know if he had the right people to teach him the defense the right way.
No, McDermott's defense is innately difficult in general because there's a lot of if this then this. Right. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons that McDermott was fired from Philly after just being there for a year when Jim Johnson left was players thought his defense was too difficult. They had to think too much on the field, and for a head coach like Andy Reid, who's used to just letting his players, get loose and be themselves, that didn't fly in Philly. What what really helped McDermott in Carolina was having Luke Kuechly there. That's really what unlocked his defense, because before that he had pretty good defenses. But when he got a lead is when he had a second linebacker to line up next to Thomas Davis. And now you got two guys that can think the game, that are super athletic, that can diagnose and attack the way that they could.
Right.
That's really what made that defense go. So it's not that the defense is bad, but you have to be, you would have to be a Thomas Davis or a Luke Kuechly, like where you can not only think the game, but you're super athletic too. And to be quite honest, they just weren't drafting those type of players.
Let's ask Ray Lewis what he thinks. No, I'm joking. But no, I think for me, I'm thinking about, basketball background, playing zone defenses and stuff like that. If the player's in the dunker spot, if the player's on the wing, if the player's this, if this is vacated, I do that, I do this. If and I think for, maybe because of basketball, everybody's always moving. They're always doing something. You always gotta have your head on the swivel, finding somebody to make sure, whatever the case may be, whatever your assignment is. So in football, when I hear zone, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of communication. I got to know what you mean. There's a lot. I got to know what you're thinking, how you're moving, what are you reading, and you got to communicate that to me. We got to talk to each other about what we're reading and what we're seeing and how do we think this is going to play out. That's why guys like Ed Reed were exceptional, because Ed Reed could tell you on the field, okay, Peyton Manning did this. Well, you saw the thing. I'm going to bait him because I know on this, when he has this formation, he's going to look for this read first. I'm going to bait him and throw to that read. So I'm going to go opposite and then fire back. I mean, these are the chess games that people have to play. Now, football players are not dumb jocks, and sometimes people try to reduce it to that, because they can't think and run at the same time, but they do. There's a lot of stuff that they're reading, and is it always easy? Rex Ryan, he had hella defenses, came to Buffalo, nobody could figure it out. Yeah. It just happens to be the people you have. I'm not saying they're dumb, but this is what they're accustomed to. You got to vet players and where they came from. You go to Alabama and they're so athletic. That might be why McDermott liked the smaller guys, because you got to think more, because you're not playing with athletes. Yeah, that could be why he went through Villanovas and Oregon States and those kind of schools, because they don't have the Power 5 athletes that Alabama and Florida and Texas and all those guys can go out there and just do whatever. They can mess up in 4.2, 4.3 speed. They right back into play. Yeah. Whereas you got Christian Benford 4.6 speed, you mess up one time, you're screwed. And he's smart enough to know I can't do that, so he can't do this. I'm not going to let him do this.
Right. Yeah. Real quick, Dang said, I'm talking this offseason, not all time.
Oh, please.
All right.
Let me get this. Can I get this?
Boxing me in. No, I got one. But go ahead. No, go ahead.
You got one?
I got two.
Garner Johnson. My favorite.
That's number one.
That's my favorite
for sure. Can play multiple positions. Definitely a dog. The right mentality you want on defense. He's going to be a leader in that locker room. He's going to push guys to be meaner. Yep. Love the move.
I'm scared, but I'm going to say so far, not restructuring Deion Dawkins. When we wake up tomorrow, he'll be restructured. Like, damn it, I was wrong. Yeah. I think actually, to let go of some of these free agents that we let go of, to start sowing the seed again, that was a good move as well. It's not popular with some people, but it's a good move to kind of start to streamline yourselves to Jim Leonard and not say, we got these players, make them work. It seems like Bean saying, what do you need? What do you like? And I can see what I can do. He's not. He didn't go get Max Crosby. He didn't go get because he wanted DJ Moore or Connor McGovern. It's one of those two, if not both. That's why we don't have Max Crosby. I put that on anything because Bean said as much.
Sidebar, really quick before we get to my second one. The whole buildup of the Connor McGovern deal. I guess the position that move puts me in is debating whether or not I prefer to have Connor McGovern or Trey Hendrickson / Max Crosby, right? And I think the reason behind that is you had the DJ Moore trade in place. You had that agreed upon. That was going through no matter what. What you didn't have in place at the time was Connor McGovern and that $13 million there. Now, you might have been able to package that 13 million with the 6 that you paid to Geno Stone and the other money that you paid to Bradley Chubb and give that to Trey Hendrickson if you knew that you weren't going to get a center. You know what I'm saying? If at that point in time you were resigned to just let Bean tell it, we wanted to get one of the guys. Okay, well, you obviously didn't make an offer to David Edwards, and you couldn't afford him anyway for what he was going to get, $15 million per year. And then you didn't even bother tendering an offer to Connor McGovern until Josh Allen said something. So that tells me you really weren't planning on signing either one of those guys. So if that was the case, what were you holding the money for?
Mm-hmm.
If it was Hendrickson or the trade for Crosby, I think I would rather have that. I don't want to beat a dead horse on that, but I guess it's just it kind of rubs me the wrong way hearing the conversations surrounded around Connor McGovern of you just don't want to let that guy go because of the pizzas and how good of a person he is and Josh Allen loves him. It's like I'd rather hear that we didn't want to let Connor McGovern go because he was a Pro Bowl, all-pro center that was a dog and changed the culture of the offensive line and turned them all into maulers. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I want our players to be known for. Yeah. Forget the damn brick oven. Yeah. For 2 seconds, can we just forget the damn brick oven? Stop trying to make this about people's personal stories, and let's keep it about ball.
Right. And let's see where we had. Hamlin, did we give him a lifetime deal? I'm still curious how he's on. He's not on a roster, which Slim said. But if he was going to do a one year contract to retire, it would be in Pittsburgh if they'd have him because he wanted to play for the Steelers. And I think had Tomlin still been there, he would have been a Steeler right now. Where else are we? You have to extend Deion to pay the draft picks. No, you don't. Draft picks are going to, we have about 12, and draft picks are going to cost you somewhere in the ballpark between 6 and 8, depending on what they do. So right now we're still good, but we're close. We are close. So yeah, no, I think if I was going to name other good things they did, I'm running down. Yeah.
I think getting Jim Leonard was probably that
was it. I mean, I was gonna say letting Bosa go, even if you commanded too much money, I'm good with that. Bradley Chubb, okay. I mean, let's let him and Hoyt fight it out. OBJ out of reach. Is OBJ even? I don't even know what he wants to do. I saw somebody mention the flag football game a minute ago. Well, I'll touch on that. I don't know a lot about it. I didn't watch it, but I will touch on it. But I don't know if OBJ is even a thought for Buffalo or himself. He looks like he's having too much fun elsewhere, or he wants a big payday, which we can't afford.
Yeah. There is a receiver in the draft this year that I think fits the Buffalo Bills' developmental mentality, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I watched this guy on tape, and I watched a little bit of, Steve Smith's comments on him and all that kind of stuff. Jeff Caldwell out of Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. For a guy to be as big as he is and as fast as he is and move like he can with the ball in his hands, this is very, very different from a Calvin Johnson. This is very, very different from a Randy Moss. This is a guy that has, Dez Bryant type skills with the ball in his hands, and maybe not the, jump ball mentality or skill set that a Dez Bryant has, but more so of a Calvin Johnson type where he's just using his size on you. Can he jump out of the building? Yeah, but most of the time he's usually big enough than, too big for the guy that's covering him to have to do all of that. Like, we didn't really see, like, Calvin Johnson had similar athleticism, which is why I keep mentioning his name, mm-hmm. but you didn't really see him get a ton of jump balls either. You know what I mean? You saw him in, double and triple coverage, but looking at Calvin Johnson's skill set and his route tree and just his game in general, I could see the potential for development there a lot with Jeff Caldwell. And furthermore, if you look at how well Calvin Johnson ran routes, he wasn't like a Steph Diggs either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He'd probably be closer to, DJ Moore running routes than he would, Steph Diggs. You know what I'm saying? And not that DJ Moore, sucks at running routes. It's not what I'm saying either. But DJ Moore is not a, shifty separator like that.
Right. I'm looking at my phone because I have my notes in my phone from 6'5", 216. He ran a 4.31 at the combine. His weaknesses are, like you said, route running, and right now his hands are a little inconsistent, so he would need work. I'm trying to find where he's.
It's been mostly jump balls with him on that, though, right? Like his physicality of high point balls and stuff like that.
Kind of what he does. Yeah. I mean that. I don't know exactly where he is. I'm trying to find where he's projected to go in the draft. Maybe 4th or 5th round.
I was looking as like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, if that's the case, sure. You can't hurt yourself. You may as well. Your wide receiver room is depleted. So, we don't have Gabe anymore. We don't have Shavers. If you want to push Keon Coleman down further, you could try that. But I think Caldwell would be that. What was the guy last year? Caden Prather kind of signing. So let's redo that. Let's try it and see. But I think what we really have to look at is what is what is Joe Brady really trying to do with his offense? If you're looking for that intermediate yak dude, then Caldwell is really not that guy for you.
No, but he definitely fits the Michael Thomas role though.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know what Joe Brady's looking for. That's my thing. I just don't know what he wants. I don't know enough about his offense. I've tried to surmise it, and
it's very okay. I get where you're going. So his offense in general is very wide receiver centric. We pointed that out in the last episode. But a lot of his route combinations, if you go back and watch his offense in Carolina, a lot of skinny posts, a lot of downfield stuff, a lot of deep crossers, like you know what I mean, like very very strong air raid concepts. Not anything that's like super deceiving, just from the standpoint of like putting, safeties in conflict, heavily, like that was more Dayball's offense, right? But I think a lot of what you're going to see in this iteration of this offense is going to be, more so surrounded around setting up the run with the pass. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going downfield more, you're taking more shots. You're forcing those safeties to stay back, which helps out James Cook in the run game. That's a lot of what we saw in Carolina. The issue there was Matt Rule wanted to run the ball more for the same reason that Sean McDermott wanted to run the ball more. They wanted to protect their defenses. They didn't want to look bad for the side of the ball that they were, most in charge of. So, with that being said, though, the types of routes that Michael Thomas ran when Joe Brady was there was a lot of the same stuff that they were asking Keon Coleman to do. You know what I mean? Your back shoulder throws, your slants, your stop and goes, your 10-yard digs. You know what I mean? Very, very easy routes for a guy like Jeff Caldwell to run, stuff that he's ran in college. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I felt like he would be a good fit, because of the routes that he would be asked to run in this offense. It fits that bigger, maybe not the shiftiest guy, but that big route runner type of receiver that, would benefit from being able to play with, Josh Allen throwing him the ball, which means there wouldn't have to be a ton of anticipation. Just get a little bit of separation. Just find the hole in the defense and shoot it. You know what I mean? But that's my thought.
No, I mean, I agree.
And Nate, this is for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm not blowing. Nope, I'm not blowing. I'm just wiping. I'm not blowing. Just wiping. Not blowing at all. Just wiping. Not blowing at all. That's for you. That is all for you, bro.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, no, Derek, Brennan Thompson is when I was like, who? Brennan Thompson. I mean, he's a little itty bitty guy, but I mean, he flies, and he run Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State. He fly. I mean, talk about football speed. I mean, he has. If Brennan Thompson was about 4 inches taller, if he was about 4 or 5 inches taller, he'd be a second round draft pick easily. Easily. Maybe even first.
That's the other tall, fast guy, right?
No, Brennan Thompson's like 5'9", 170.
Oh, God.
But he ran like a 4.2. I think he ran like a 4.28. And
isn't there another Brennan receiver in this draft that's like 6'4", 6'5"?
You're talking about Brazel. Chris Brazel from yeah. I mean, he's no, I think for Brennan Thompson, yeah, he's exciting, and Zachariah Birch is another one that's very exciting from Georgia. Smaller guy but can fly. I mean, you're talking about guys that would make Khalil Shakir, if the team is really trying to sharpen iron, make Khalil Shakir standing in the slot a thing of the past. Shakir, he had to play on the outside because these guys in the slot uncoverable. I love it. But I think to your point, with we're looking at drafting guys in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, Caldwell would be a good thought. I think ESPN has him now as a 21st rated wide receiver. So that bodes well. 21st bodes really well.
That's not bad for a guy that athletic. What I was reminded of watching him play in college is, man, how much of a technician was Randy Moss? Like if you got a guy that just has speed and has size, like just let him go, let him play. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I think what we tend to get caught up in nowadays, because there's so much information, because we know as much of the insider talk as we know from insider reporters and stuff like that. Like we kind of feel like we have to think the same way that these reporters think and these coaches think, that this player's got to fit this specific skill set. Man, the old coordinator in Minnesota was like, okay,
right,
throw it to him deep,
right.
Like who cares if he can run a 20-yard dig and shake the receiver? Who cares what his yards of separation was? Matter of fact, I'm gonna search that right now. I want to see what Randy Moss's separation rate was in the NFL and see his success percentage.
I don't even know if you can find that. Randy Moss is a fossil now.
Yeah.
I mean, next gen stats wasn't around back then, so I don't even know. But if you can find it,
I'm gonna see. I'm on.
What was the separation rate
right now?
A lot.
Yeah, because it was all deep stuff.
Man,
he was running with 210-pound corners that couldn't keep up with
6'4",
nobody.
just flying gazelle Moss.
Yeah. Oh man. So for him to be in the 50s, yeah. So 50s most of his career. So for his career, his success rate is 51.1.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's like top tier receiver. So, I mean, he had a couple of 48s. He's got a 42 in there.
I mean, he did it all. He did it all. Yeah. So I mean, let me get here before we lose. Who was it? We're gonna come back to this. I had a check mark with that. Just Alvarez. I'm sorry if you're still here. Please, we didn't forget you. He asked, "You talk about the flag football game yet? If not, how did you feel about it?" I didn't watch it. But I can tell you it was interesting because you had guys who like DeMar Hamlins and people like that playing in this. And I think it was Shady McCoy who was talking about it. And he said, all right, these guys out there can't play football. He said, these are dudes that don't play football. These are guys that are like, he said they're bums. He said, Tom Brady and Gronk, yeah, they're old. They're out there having a ball. You got, Odell Beckham who's mossing people for no reason. But then you got the guys that's trying real hard. They're the guys that like to make it the back end of the roster if they're actually playing in the NFL still. So a flag football game, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I don't really learn anything from it. If you can't scout flag football because these guys are doing stuff that's not even going to happen in the NFL. When they do the stop jump backs, that kind of stuff, so you can't get the flag, they drop it almost to a knee so you can't get a flag. Do that when you're getting hit. Your career gonna be about that long. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna
be an Olympic sport. So
yeah, it was interesting. It's an ambassador thing. They're playing. They're trying to get eyes on the sport with Tom Brady's and I mean it's a gimmick right now, but it's cool.
Yeah. Why? So Bodega Cat says, why doesn't Jimmy Smith get praised like Randy? I'll take him over Rent. You see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who Jimmy Smith is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving right along. Joey says big money in that flag football. Look at what the quarterback for the Eagles got.
Yeah. I can't believe he was playing. I cannot believe Jalen Hurts is in that game. I cannot believe that.
We knew he had troubles processing, but that just brought it out even more. I don't know what more you can say about it.
Malik Benson. Yeah, actually, the Bills met with Malik Benson in Oregon. I think they had dinner with him. They seemed to really like him. A smaller-ish guy. Not. I shouldn't say that. You know, he's a little below average in height. I believe he's like 5'10" or something like that. Good football player, very good football player, and it'd be a guy that I think he's like literally somebody you can get in the 7th round. He actually might go undrafted, depending on his pro day. What else do we have? What do you think about CJ Allen? CJ Allen is one of those guys where I'm with Bean. I hope he does something where he falls or something hits him in the back of the head and he just looks just terrible. And we can snatch him up in the, you know, we don't have a 2nd round draft pick. I think CJ Allen is definitely the guy you want for the spill linebacker, the guy to clean up everything on the outside. Talking about him is like saying, it's like saying that you know, Brandon Spikes wasn't good in his day. You know, he's not Brandon Spikes, but I'm saying it's the same kind of head cracker, the same kind of physical guy. He's got speed. He's like a 4.8 or whatever. He didn't run well. He doesn't look athletic, but when you put on his tape, you can see that he's the kind of guy like me that if you told me to run a straight line, I'm not very fast. But if you line me up behind somebody that's fast, I'm probably going to catch him. Because I got to chase something. I can't just run the run.
Right.
And he's the kind of guy, he's not going to test well, but he plays football a hell of a well. And if 31 teams say this guy is not good enough to be in the 2nd round, hell yeah, I'm taking him. Hell yeah, I want him in the 3rd round. No bones about it. I don't think he's going to drop that far. But listen, if I could get that guy, then I definitely would. Someday he's the Black Allen. We need one. Derek, Chris Bell. And I don't know if you watched the last couple of shows. I talked about it. I'm not saying to dismiss you, but Chris Bell to me is the reason why I'm upset with the 2nd round draft pick. There's things we could do if we had to say we could move back if he's still in that realm. We could do things to get Chris Bell and still find a wide receiver in the 1st round if you really wanted to. I think Chris Bell will be more than worth the wait after the ACL checks out. I think he's going to be somebody you're going to be like, okay, maybe he's not a superstar, but that dude can ball. He's going to be one of those guys who's like, I wish we had him. You know, the kind of guy who's like, okay, it's 3rd and 8. Where's the ball going? Chris Bell, because he's going to catch it and run somebody over and get that extra yardage. Mm-hmm. And that's why Chris Bell for me is, oh man, I'm all in on this guy. I'm all in. Spikes was a Bill too. Santa, he was a Bill too.
Yeah, he was. Later in his career.
Yeah, he literally was like a 5'0" linebacker who. What they did was they used him as a mug. A mug is a linebacker that creeps up and pretty much plays nose tackle. Mm-hmm. What he did was he paid him to explode the center and leave all the remnants for the rest of the guys in the team.
Yeah, that was that Rex Ryan's defense?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was that 4-6 we ran. Yep.
Yeah. Rex
and Anquan Bolden, yep. I was thinking Anquan Bolden, Eric Moe's kind of player for Chris Bell. And Slim Nady, you are getting on my nerves. No technical difficulties. Why did you do that? Now we're gonna have some kind of random outage because of you. No, I don't mean Tequila Spikes. I mean Brandon Spikes.
Because Tommy ain't in the chat. I mean, he might be watching. You don't always hop in the chat, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sam says Brandon, like AJ, stuck to it, man. Stay woke. I can always get a job.
What do we know with the 26th pick? I have no idea, and that's the problem for me. I have zero clue.
Here's what I'm saying, and I said this at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pay attention to the history, right? I want to go through the Bills draft picks real quick by season. Because I'm sure like we'll be able to remember what they did in all-time draft history. Okay, yeah, it should be it. All right, so Let's start from the Kyrie Elam draft.
Okay.
Right. What did they do at corner that year?
Did they have Josh Norman that year? Or they wait? Because we know they drafted Kyrie, then they got Benford. Did we have, what was the guy from Houston? Kevin Johnson or whatever his name was? We got a call. Philly Bills.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yep.
What year is this? So Kyrie Elam is 2022. Okay. So, yep, 2022. And while that's loading up, what's going on? You on the show? How are you doing?
Good afternoon, fellas.
What up, brother?
How y'all doing today, man? What y'all got going on the show today, man?
Oh, we just kicking it, answering questions here and there. What's up?
Same old.
I'm good.
What's on your mind, bro?
I'm just checking to see what y'all got going on today, man.
Oh, so I mean, we basically talking about draft picks and what the Bills are likely to do at 26 right now. But we most of today's points have been
Why I got a lag?
Huh?
Why does he have a lag?
Did you pay your internet bill?
Yes.
He's just playing with you, man.
Right, I know, I'm messing with you. But yeah, so I mean, we basically were talking about earlier about how the Bills actually attract free agents, and just kind of looking at this interview that DJ Moore had with this beat reporter in Chicago, and it's kind of talking about how his whole trade process worked, and the fact of where his life is. He's almost 30, married, and Bradley Chubb mentioned the same thing. Originally he didn't want to come to Buffalo, and he's married now, and he's almost 30, and just exploring this idea that, people come to Buffalo because they're in the, kind of second half of their life and their career, and they don't really have any desire for a nightlife anymore. Like they're kind of over the hill. So now they want to come to Buffalo.
Harris, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Last week, it was like he was trying to kill the team for the the best Brandon Bean could do. I don't like Brandon Bean either though, but it seemed like he was killing like the picks we got in here. Like I understand it, because it was like, damn, it's like you really don't like the moves he made. I mean, I'm not too chipper about him either. I'm not gonna lie, but I said, okay, cool. Like if that's what he could come up with, maybe it could work, maybe it not. But you put that shit down like it was a piece of shit. I'm just saying, bro. Like you was like, this nigga just giving that shit, trying to make us feel like it's gold. Like that's the attitude I took from you last week, bro. So you gave no F's last week, brother. No.
And I try not to, because at the end of the day, when we do this research and we reach these conclusions, again, I say what I say on the show from a standpoint of, if you disagree, come at me with some information and let's talk about why. You know what I'm saying? Let's really hash out. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say it on the show all the time. Like I was wrong with Sean McDermott being in control of the draft picks. You know what I'm saying? We found out a couple of weeks ago that he was in charge of the 53, not the draft picks. So I don't have a problem being wrong, but the mindset for me is, if I'm doing the research and this is the conclusion I come to, well, then that's what it is. Because I try to tear my own argument apart before I even put it out there. I try to look at, okay, well, can I really say this definitively? What are some of the other variables that play into this situation? Should I be more understanding? Well, if you consider this context, Nick, in this context, this is what you left with. It's like, so I came up with and I didn't come up with this, but I was reminded of Occam's razor. You know what Occam's razor is?
Negative.
So Occam's razor is the theory that the simplest explanation to a situation is often the right one, right? And so when I was thinking about how I view the team, I don't need to get complicated in how these players work for what specific system and what positions, usually this and that. Like at the end of the day, how many playoff games is the team winning with this team? How many championships are being won with this team and these players? And if the people making the decisions that led to the team that we have continue to do the same stuff. Should I like it? I think the answer for me is no. And I think where fans typically get caught up at is, well, it's still my team. I still love the team. I still love the red, white, and the blue. I still love the logo. I still love, the history of the team. So I don't want to hate them for what this front office is doing. But what I guess basically what I'm saying is we have to separate the front office from the logo. And fans don't want to do that. They want to assume that everybody that works for the team is the logo. And if you don't like something that somebody that's employed by the team does, that means you don't like the logo, which is not true. I love the team to death. All I wear is Bill stuff. If I'm not wearing Bill stuff, I'm wearing regular bland blank t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? So I rep for the squad. But you're not finna put my colors on and come out here and tell me that Christian Benford is a top 5 corner in the league. You're not finna put my colors on and come out here and tell me that Greg Rousseau is worth $19 million. You're not finna do that. Like, you put it into his contract. You put it into his contract where you can get rid of him next year. So why'd you give him the 19 if it was like that? If you don't really trust him that well and you put it into his contract where you can get rid of him after 2 years, after signing the big contract, what does that say? You might not be that good, dog.
I don't like Brandon Beane anyway. Listen, one more question. Do you think we need another offensive player or another defensive key player? Like another key player on offense or another key player on defense? Which one is better? Which one would you prefer?
Easily offense for me, and here's why. If you look at where this team has been in the regular season and in the playoffs, when it's time to go down and score that go-ahead touchdown, how consistent last season were the Bills at that? Not at all. When we were the Cardiac Kids, we had Steph Diggs, Cole Beasley, and John Brown. We had so many fourth quarter comebacks that year. You couldn't hold us. You know what I'm saying? We was throwing 20-yard passes to Stephon Diggs, in his tenure here to come back against the Lions. That was just 3-4 years ago. So no, you need more talent around Josh to give him the opportunity, in those moments where you gotta have a score. If it's about points, then make it about points and give that man as much talent as you can possibly get. Because at the end of the day, in the playoffs, the Mahomes, the Burrows, the Jacksons, the who, all these up and coming. I mean, you could say Bo Nix now. None of these quarterbacks that play in the playoffs care about your defense. None of them. If you don't have the Texans defense, or if you ain't got the Broncos defense, or if you ain't got the Seahawks defense, you might as well not even bother.
40 Keys. Who was you arguing with last week? The guy was getting on your nerves because you had me crying last week, bro. I was on this bitch crying. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I've been saying it. Who was that guy?
All I wanted was a simple answer. I couldn't get it. I couldn't even get a word in. So I was like, whatever. It was whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's something I'm like, I didn't expect. And I'm trying to have conversations with people, not just be talked to on the phone line the whole time. So I just said, screw it. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, boy, you was so hot last week. You said, tell me what he do. Tell me what his position is. Like, you was hot last week. What's the O-line? What's his name? What's the off-ball linebacker position? What he do? What is his role? He had you hot last week.
I was just honestly, I was just trying to get an understanding of what people thought the defense was supposed to do. You say 3-4, you say this is like, it's a 3-4 kind of, but then you look at who they brought in. It tells you it's not what you think it is. So let's not harp on that. But people just want to harp on whatever it is. And I just couldn't get a word in that. I thought I was going to have a good conversation. Didn't. So I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, he definitely did. He pissed you off. When he got off, you was big man. You let him know exactly how you felt for real. But all right, man. I just wanted to call in. Vu Gang out, man. Just want to call and see my new favorite Bills podcast show, man.
Appreciate
you, man.
Smitty, where you at, Smitty? What's Smitty at?
Smitty at home today, bro.
Tell Smitty I said what's up, man.
All right, we'll got
you. All right, fella.
All right, man. Oh my gosh!
But yeah, while he was talking, I was looking up. Somebody was talking about we need downfield middle linebackers, and yeah, I mean you could go. There's a linebacker out of Alabama. forgive me, I don't have everything memorized yet, but linebacker Deontay Lawson, Alabama, high IQ guy. He's got green dot potential, 4'6" with clean angles. He plays from depth and he comes up into the pocket. You could also go with, Josiah Trotter. He's a head buster too. He's more limited in terms of what downs and what distance, what scenarios he should be on the field, but he's looking for pain every time he straps it up. Let's see, who else do I have? Jacob Rodriguez is a depth. Mike, I still like Rodriguez, but I wouldn't put him at Mike. So that's the one he's gonna have to be elsewhere. Yeah, so that's Deontay Lawson would probably be your best bet at Mike for what you're asked to do in this defense.
All right. So Dank says, is it crazy to trade the 26th pick for some second rounders? Listen, do you want to hear something crazy? I think me and you might be in agreement on this one this year. I think me and you might be in agreement on this one. I think the value of the players that you can get in the second and third rounds, if you can trade back and get a second and a third, or whatever.
I looked at it as like a second and fourth or whatever the case may be, which is fine.
Take that, because you can parlay those two fourths into a third if you really needed to.
Yeah, I'll take that Thursday night draft of no picks if we're gonna do something astute on Friday.
We have a caller on the line.
I know.
Bodega Cat, what's going on, bro?
What's up, fellas?
How you feeling, man?
How you guys doing today? How you guys doing on this good Monday?
I'm fighting through something right now, but we get through it. We power through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just got a quick question because I don't want to mess the show up. I know y'all playing GM right now, so I want to follow up. But
okay.
I got to preface this by saying, have you guys seen the Josh Allen is not clutch video that they got going on around on YouTube?
I don't think so.
I saw something. I saw one on Instagram, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay. I just got to preface this by saying when we drafted Josh and everybody hated the pick, like 90% of our fan base hated the pick, I was the one that just said, let's just give him a chance. He's unproven. I understand the accuracy issues, but he didn't have any NFL players on his team for us to even criticize him the way we did. And then when he jumped over Anthony Barr and ended his career, I fell in love with Josh. It's nothing nobody could say to me about Josh Allen. Not my wife, my kids, nobody. Nobody could say anything to me about Josh Allen.
Right.
But I think it is time to start having conversations about Josh not only in the clutch, but Josh getting so rattled this late in his career. And I don't mean rattled like scared. He just starts to get that psycho Josh, even in the fourth quarter. That play that he missed with Knox was just unacceptable. It was right there. You could blame Osiris Torrance. He let the guy get inside too quick and knocked Josh off his mechanics. Even in the past 2 years ago in the playoffs to Shakir when he missed it. It's like, can we credit Chris Jones for that? Really? Can we blame Josh like, oh, hey, Chris Jones got in your face, so you missed it? I think it's time that we start having a conversation about Josh. I know that's our pinnacle. That is the godfather of the mafia. So I know we got to kiss the ring, and it was like if we criticize, can I even still be a Bills? I know that's the feeling we get, but I think it's time, bro. If I'm wrong, let me know.
No, I think that's something that the Bills Mafia has to come to grips with, exactly what you just said. I think, in terms of what Josh is and isn't, clutch is not one of the things that you should debate. The thing that Josh, from the videos I saw, the only video I agree with, well, I didn't agree because they said he's a dead-eye deep ball thrower, and I don't agree with that.
No, he's not.
That's the one thing Josh doesn't do well, deep balls. But outside of that, I think, like you said, when they drafted Josh, I was like, Josh Rosen. Oh, well, let's see what this guy does.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't pissed about it, but I was like, all right, well, got a quarterback. Let's see what happens.
Right.
But yeah, I think for Josh, watching what he did with Steph Diggs when he opened up, he just got loose. in 2020, he just looked different from 18, 19, and in 20, it all opened up for him. You know, he was playing with a swagger about him. He was looser. He was throwing things that weren't connecting before. He was taking chances that he wasn't taking before. And you saw the maturation of Josh Allen in that 3-year span.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Stephon Diggs last year in Buffalo, did Josh need him as much? No, but you know, it was nice to have. But I think when you're looking at Josh and the clutch factor, as you said, in terms of the big games and how he's missing this and that, I think that's when he gets not the yips, but that's when he starts to think, oh, it's on me. If I don't make this play, it's over with. And when
he's 0-7 in overtime, Keys. Sorry to cut you off, but that's just like that is a big stat.
It is, and I think it's the coach as well. You know, you feed off the coach. McDermott froze up as well, so it's like I don't know what their conversations were, what the relationship was, but it was like, man, if I do this wrong, maybe I'm not going to get benched because I am Josh Allen, but I don't want to go into the locker room have to face the guys because that's the kind of guy he is. Tyler Dunn said that, you know, he was talking to somebody and they were asking him about how Josh Allen is in the locker room and how he's not an authoritative guy. He's not the kind of guy that says, you know what, my way or the highway, do this, that, and third.
Right.
And that was something I wanted to get into. I'll actually bring it up after this because I can go a little over if you're okay with going a little over. I know you got your stuff.
No, we're good.
So yeah, I hope I answered your question, you know, in a fashion that kind of jives with what you're asking. I just think Josh Allen is clutch, and I think that what they asked him to do, if they put him in a position where he's comfortable and stop saying, as long as we got Josh, we got a chance, because he hears that. And being from Wyoming, being from Fireball, California, that's different than when you come from Atlanta and Miami and Texas and Florida. You know, it's Friday Night Lights all the time.
Yeah.
I'm used to this. This does this. Josh didn't have those before he came to the NFL, the biggest stage.
Yeah, the other part of this too is if you look at what Josh has been equipped with when he performed his best in late game situations and clutch situations, it was early on in his career when he had an elite offensive mind coaching the offense, and he had the best separating wide receiver core in his career in John Brown, Cole Beasley, and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
That's it, and I guess you could say the same thing for the following season when he had Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, and Gabe Davis. And I mean, the 13 seconds a game alone should tell you if he's got proper weapons, he can come back on anybody. Because at the end of the day, that game was about what the defense gave up, not the offense.
Mm-hmm.
When the offense needed to go down and score, they did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So when we're looking at offensive production in overtime, all of those games, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, all of those games, to my recollection, have been scenarios where the defense had to get a stop and couldn't do it. That's how overtime ended up being the way that it was, especially the Jets game. They go to overtime, and that was week 1, right? In that new Ken Dorsey offense, and went to overtime, and they had I think it was like a kick return or something, or a punt return for a touchdown or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The offense got stopped, couldn't score. Why? Didn't have enough weapons. All they had was Stephon Diggs at that point in this brand new offense. Nobody take the heat off of him. Yep. That was Khalil Shakir's first year. So you're in this situation where Josh Allen is feeling ill-equipped, and I think that's what happened in the Denver game. You go into a game with that much leverage. Your next step after that is getting back to the AFC Championship game. And the team you're probably playing against is the Patriots, who you've beaten. That's a lot of pressure. And then you add on to that, oh, by the way, I'm playing the best pass defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think Josh has to be in rhythm. He has to see a rhythm. It has to be working. He has to all engines have to be firing for him. You know, and if he sees wide receivers taking advantage of getting open with ease, if he sees the running game working, he's going to settle down. But when it's a hiccup, when it's a stop, that's when he starts to seize up a little bit. You see the coach over there freaking out, you know, because that's what he did. McDermott's the kind of guy I got to be in control, you know. And when Josh is looking at the sideline, being the kind of guy he is, I don't want to let everybody down. Next thing you know, ball sails. You know, he doesn't have proper foot placement. He's trying to look for the perfect play. He doesn't put the ball in Shakir's hands and hope that he can catch it and turn upfield for those extra 3-4 yards. You know, in the instance of that Stephon Diggs to Shakir and in the back of the end zone, Bodega brought up with regards to what was it when Chris Jones got pushed Deion Dawkins into Josh Allen, it's that spatial awareness. What down? What's the distance? If I hit this Steph Diggs, it's not gonna be a first down, but it's closer. Maybe he gets out of bounds. Maybe he breaks the tackle, turns it up. Now I got to go for it all right here. Do I blame you for it? No, that's how you play. Yeah. But there's another step and says, you know what? Let me trust him. Let me trust this guy because I didn't get here by myself, and I need him as much as he needs me. And that's the next step. But you got to give him guys that he can say, I need him as much as he needs as he needs me.
Right. Walter says, don't let the stats take you away from the context. Bass missed a 44-yard kick to tie the game against the Chiefs in the playoffs, a shorter kick than the Chiefs hit in the 13 seconds game. I think you might have been talking about 3 years in that divisional round, right? That was the wide right.
Gabe Davis game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that again, we talk about context all the time, but at the end of the day, I think it really comes down to like there's a reason why these teams that already have a number one wide receiver go and get another guy that could be a number one wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Like there's a reason Denver goes and gets Jalen Waddle. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that the Cowboys, even with all their salary cap issues right now, still franchise tag George Pickens to try and keep him on the team. So, to basically wait until next year when they're going to have more cap space to then give him his contract. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like they do these things for a reason because they see in today's NFL, if you don't have two dominant weapons on your team, you're not going to get there.
Right.
Period. When the Chiefs were doing it, Tyreek Hill was in his prime. Travis Kelce was in his prime.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, Bodega says, I wish he would pass the ball to Diggs. Me too. Yeah. That's me being concerned. Yes, me too. Absolutely. Russo's job is to set the edge. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. When you say that tells me that you know what his capabilities are, what he's supposed to do. Yeah, anybody that asks and expects him to be a edge rushing supreme, in a la, TJ Watt, whoever, you're looking for the wrong thing out of the wrong guy. Tommy, what's up, brother? Mafia Sports Report in the building. I think you have to get the compliment. And when they got Joey Bosa, that wasn't the correct compliment because it's the same kind of player. The power to speed kind of guy. And we need somebody that's got speed to power. McDermott was stuck in his ways in terms of the kind of players he thought was supposed to win. He was stuck in his ways in the ways that he saw the game, envisioned the game happening. And do I blame him for that? No, I don't blame him for what he saw happen because it was honest. He honestly thought this was going to work. And when it didn't work with this player, well, that wasn't the right player. Give me somebody else that does this. And Bean's like, what the hell I just gave you? Okay, let me try this instead. So Bean's getting you this. And they were like, that's not what I asked for. But Bean's like, but what I gave you when you asked, it didn't work. So what do you want me to do? So that lockstep that they're talking about now, that's why they're telling you a lot of stuff without telling you a lot of stuff. They're telling you that it was soured years ago with McDermott and Bean. And do I blame either one of them? No, it just was a marriage that didn't work.
Right.
But when you get divorced, you don't get to keep everything, and the other one get lose everything.
Exactly.
So, I think the biggest thing for me is the blame is here. If you want to blame somebody, the blame is here. And I think this is something I heard, and Roy's not in here. I haven't seen Roy say anything yet, but he listens to Talking Buffalo, and Joe from Queens made an excellent point. He brought up he's a wrestling fan, so he brought up this concept of Josh Allen rub. I don't know if you know what a rub is, but in wrestling, a rub is a big name person they use to put something over. So he said, Josh Allen, is he a rub? Now, what that means in this instance is when you slap Josh Allen's name on something, the fans won't hate it. So it's everything they do. Keon Coleman, Josh Allen, one of them. Dalton Kincaid, Josh Allen, one of them.
Josh Allen.
Ken Dorsey, Josh Allen endorsed it. Joe Brady twice. Josh Allen was in on the meetings.
Yep.
Von Miller. If we get you Matt Barkley, you'll get Von Miller. Sure. Oh, Josh Allen. Everything good. They do. Josh Allen does like Bodega said earlier. Josh Allen's that fella. Who said Josh Allen's that fella? Yeah. But when you hear Josh Allen say like, yo, this got to be good. This is going to be good because Josh Allen wants it. And if it doesn't work, it's not Josh Allen's fault. Should it be? No, because he's not the GM. But somebody, when your kid asks you for something, you got to tell them no at some point.
Right.
You know, and if I'm telling you no, I have to know better. And Bean and McDermott never proved to me that they knew better than each other, let alone Josh Allen what he wanted. Because I've said a lot of times, you got to save Josh Allen from himself sometimes. On the field, that's what Sean McDermott tried to do. He tried to save him from himself. He said, be smart. Everybody like, no, you're a butthole. But Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, he's diva because he said, think smart. No, that was Josh Allen's best man on the field at the time. It was a friend at the time. You know, even to this day, they say, you know, they're still amicable. They still talk to each other, whatever the case may be. But no, Josh Allen. So is it his fault? No, because he's your guy. He's the quarterback. But when we're looking at these moves, let's look at it in totality. And why does this make sense? Everybody wants something, but do you always need to get it? No.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot. Wow.
What happened?
Oh, they got some of the re-signings on here. So I'm just compiling all the information from the little exercise we were going to do about finding out, you know, what the Bills are likely to take based on the roster construction right now. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was, yeah.
Okay, so back to the exercise that we were doing before we took some calls there. We were on 2022 and that draft class and just trying to figure out, okay, the Bills drafted Kaiir Elam. They moved up to get him, but what free agents did they take that year? And I think we were trying to think about them. And at that point, we realized, oh, shoot, Nico's on the phone. We better take that phone call.
After 15 minutes away.
Right. So let me just go through the free agent signings real quick that season leading up to that draft class. Von Miller, 6 years, 120. Daquan Jones, Roger Saffold, Tim Settle, Jamison Crowder, David Quessenberry, Jordan Phillips, Shaq Lawson, O.J. Howard, Tavon Austin.
O.J. Howard. The best that never was.
The best that never was.
O.J. Howard.
But where in all of these free agent signings was a corner? There wasn't one. Right? Trey White, we know, was coming off injury. You know what I'm saying? It actually was. Yeah, he was still on the team.
Yeah,
so he's coming off injury, getting older. We needed to draft the next up and coming guy to play across from him because the Bills were figuring after this coming season, we're going to let Trey White go. So with that being said, it stands to reason. They didn't address corner in free agency. That was the biggest hole going into free agency. They traded up and took one, right? Let's move to 2022. 2022 was, let me go back here. I'm sorry, 2023. My bad. 2023. So 2023 was Connor McGovern, Deontay Hardy, Leonard Floyd, Poona Ford, Trent Sherfield, David Edwards, Damian Harris, Taylor Rapp, Linval Joseph, Brandon Shell, Latavius Murray, and Kyle Allen. I'm sorry, Darrington Evans too, Travin Howard, and Jermaine Ifedi. So big free agent class that year, right? Now, at that point in time, we needed a wide receiver.
That's an easy one to guess.
Yeah.
We always needed that.
They said they wanted to get a pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how did they address pass catcher? Deontay Hardy. Is he a bona fide starter? Is he, like, you sign him? Do you feel like you're done at wide receiver?
Trent Sherfield, let's see that.
Trent Sherfield.
Ooh.
Do you feel like you're done after you sign Trent Sherfield? Like, should you be, all right, we've already addressed it, we're good? No. Where else did they address wide receiver? That's it. Just those two guys, right? Who do they end up taking in 2023? Dalton Kincaid with their first overall pick.
Which is funny because guess what? If you trade up 6 picks, what you would have got?
Your boy.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. You would have got Jackson Smith and Jigba if you traded up 6 spots. Let's see. Wait a minute. Who was it? Dang. Oh, Walter. Actually, no. He said, unpopular opinion, O.J. Howard is the second best O.J. you've ever had in the Bills jersey. No, you forgot about O.J. Ofadale. Yeah. O.J. Ofadale, tight end in what, 97?
Better than O.J. Howard?
O.J. Howard was never even a Bill. Ofadale actually was a Bill for a certain point in time. He actually caught a pass in the regular season.
You can't even qualify if you don't wear a helmet. You can't do it.
But yeah, no. Boy, how many OJs have we had? 3, maybe 4. I don't know. I know Ofadale was one because, I mean, you're 12, 13 years old trying to say that last name. You going for your asthma inhaler on that one. And who is it? Nate? No, actually, I don't have to dip now, but we're gonna dip before A loses his brain. I got one more topic.
Go for it.
All right. Dorothy's already said no. I don't care about Dorothy.
Oh man, Dorothy, you know I love you, girl. You know I love you, girl.
There is one player out there who is very polarizing that no team wants, but 26 teams have called about. Christian Wilkins.
Yo, for real.
I'm telling you, in this defense, yes. Yes, sir. In this defense.
You want the crotch grabber in here.
Hey, you went away from Josh's? Then how do you do that? You sign him. You get him in the same building as Josh, so Josh's crotch is safe. Haley Steinfeld doesn't have to go to jail, and so the rest is history. But I thought about it. I said, Christian Wilkins is perfect as a 2-eye, perfect as a 4-eye, where you're compressing the pocket and getting to the quarterback. You know, what would his price point be if 26 teams are calling for him? Probably more than we can afford, more than likely. But, you know, if you're looking at why he got cut in Oakland is because he kissed some dude on the head. That's what he did. And the guy said, no means no. Pause. What else is there? AO. There's an AO in there, too. Yeah.
Yeah, half an AO.
See, back in the day, you know, back in the 80s, the cats used to kids kiss each other on the head. No big deal. But today, don't do it. I gotta ask, do I have permission to put my lips on the top of your head? Hey, yo. But I think if you're looking at a guy, if you're trusting Ed Oliver, cool, that's good. But if you have any shadow of a doubt, or even better, you can have a package where you put him and Ed Oliver on the field at the same time. You could get real frisky. Well, I don't say frisky with Christian Wilkins. Okay, so you could get real interesting with Christian Wilkins. I obviously it's not going to happen because there are other suitors, and we're not going to be high on this list at all, unless he does something to freak other people out. In which case, hey, we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Let him duke it out. Whoever last gets to the team.
Yeah. All right. What was that? It? That's all you got?
That's pretty much it. What about you?
I mean, I just, you know, the whole point around, you know, who we're gonna draft this year. I mean, just go look at the depth chart. I think it's clear to see guard is probably where they're gonna go based off the pattern they set up.
Emmanuel Pregnon, welcome to the team.
Yeah, which is it. It's really funny to me because when you think about what Denver's done, when you think about what some of these other teams have done, loading up at wide receiver, trying to make sure that they have multiple options. How many wide receivers do the Jaguars have, for crying out loud? And the Bills have now put themselves in a position where they're starting 3 in 11 personnel is DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, and Josh Palmer. I think everybody would be very excited if I started telling you who we had, and I started with DJ Moore. Oh, Khalil Shakir. Oh, that's right. He was good last year.
Moore.
And Josh Palmer.
You're like, wait. I thought I heard you say Josh Palmer.
I did say Josh Palmer.
Oh. I mean, honestly, I tried the Josh Palmer thing. Is he good as a third option? Yes. I tried to figure out what this big Josh Palmer to do was
for 11 million.
11 mil. And I just couldn't. I can't find it. Is he bad? No. But do you trust him as your day one starter opposite at the time Keon Coleman or an oft injured Curtis Samuel, which Keon Coleman was still in the field? The answer to that is probably no. In which case, that's when you look at Joshua Palmer, you're like, for 11 million over what 3 years? Was it 3 years or whatever the case may be? Tough. And before I forget, were you ready to click on something?
I was just reading. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no bones. That's a mega pause, just so you know.
Where is that at?
Just here.
Oh,
mega pause. That's flagrant, even for me.
Absolutely, you get another one for that. We got to turn that up. You need a loud. Whoa, buddy.
And
whoa.
Zoomer said interesting is even worse, so I guess I'll just go with whatever I was going to say. I don't even know. Nate said I got to bite my tongue, I guess. He's still recovering from the foot injury, which is crazy given how long it's been. I don't know what happened to his foot, but it had to be bad. But hey, yeah, that'd be even better because we got time. Come on, we got time for you.
He's talking about
Wilkins.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah. We got time for that. What they just said, I was just about to say we might trade Oliver.
Possible.
It's possible.
It's very possible. What's his hold on.
You don't want to look, you'll cry.
Cap hit? What's his post-June dead cap hit? Let's just look at this.
I forget. I knew it, but I forgot.
I probably won't cry.
Yeah, it'll be me. I knew it, but I should cry.
Okay, so post-June 1 trade. All right, so post-June 1 trade. Yeah, it's bad.
I told you. It's really bad.
You only get an additional $1.8 million in savings, but you give up 11.7 in dead cap money. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. The Bills really can't do anything else.
The only reason I would do that is if they don't trust that he's going to be healthy enough to play. If they know something that we don't know and they think that something's wrong.
He was about to come back late.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
If we would have made the Super Bowl, he
would have came back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way they make that trade because you're giving it way too much money and they're trying to build towards something. So I think that he's pretty much locked in with his contract, at least for another year.
Yep. That's right. And that's what we do here on the show. We try to get it right as much as we possibly can. That's why we do the research. That's why we consider everything we do. So thank you very much for, putting up with us, even if you don't like that, the way it sounds. I encourage everybody, fact check everything we're talking about. Try to take the same approach that we do.
I want to learn. I don't know
right.
everything. And I can tell you, I know what I know. And you asked me to tell you how the salary cap works. I tell you how the contract is broken up, but I can't build one. And I'm not going to sit here and try. Because I don't know what the players want. I don't know what the structures are. And I'm not going to sit here and BS you into thinking, no. But you have money questions that, based on what will happen to a salary based on, I'm your guy. If you want to know about the scouting, Alton hasn't been here in a while, but Alton is a guy I was actually looking forward to talking to today about a couple players. So if anybody has seen him, a milk carton maybe.
You could hit him in the Discord chat.
Yeah. Does he? Yeah, I could.
Yeah, he's in there.
I'm saying that Alton, Albert.
Oh, Albert. Okay,
yeah, Albert.
Okay. My bad.
So yeah, if anybody seen him?
No, Albert is a member, ain't he?
I don't think he talks.
I don't think he messaged us.
I don't think he talks. Yeah. That's another thing.
Some people don't.
If you get the membership, get in the Discord.
Yes.
At least look at it. Ask for the link to it. I don't feel right taking your money. You're not taking advantage of anything. You just, I appreciate the donation, but holla at me.
Yeah, no, we definitely about to ramp up the membership program this coming season. A lot of good content coming strictly for members only. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. I mean, listen. I'm so happy I made it through this episode without my entire face exploding. But you know what I wish I had at this point in time?
Working nose.
Not just that.
If you didn't have a working nose, the only thing I can think of is, could it be? Is it the Reese?
I feel like we need to be playing some super romantic music right now.
Could it be? Okay. That's copyrighted. If you don't know what we're talking about, you haven't watched the show long enough. You need to watch the show more because you would know we're talking about none other than Reese. People in the comments have been saying, where's the Reese? We need the Reese. How do we get the Reese? Well, we've been telling you for 2 years now. If you don't know how to get the Reese, then it's on you. The link is down there. You go to your corner store, ask them, do you have Reese? If they say no, like, why the hell don't you have Reese? Talk to my boys. They the plug. Talk to them. Ask about them. And matter of fact, while you do that, tell them to subscribe to the show. So when they ask about Reese, they know what we're talking about, who we are, and why they're putting this drink in their establishment. You know, go to a restaurant and say, you know, I have a glass of Reese. Like, what the hell is that? You don't know what Reese is? Check, please. Check, please. I can't be here. I can't eat here. I need the Reese on my table. A big picture of this stuff. Make it nice and cool. Matter of fact, if it's not cool, that's fine. Just bring it over here. That's cool too. Why do you need Reese in your establishment? Because you're eating those little fatty burgers, you're eating your chicken fingers, you're eating your wings, you're eating whatever you're eating, the Reese goes with it. Perfect compliment, not your red wine. You have to worry about red wine, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Grigio. Don't matter. Reese tea. Get it. If they don't have it in a store, leave the store. They're not smart. But what you need to do is description below. Hit it. Order your own case. Individual. Make it happen. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. I know.
All right. With that being said, we got to get to the close. So, start the music. We got to call to the folk in the back.
Yeah. You called, they answered.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of on time, kind of not.
It's all right.
We'll see. We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
No music, nothing.
I was about to take that way left. About to die line, and die line. Okay. Anyway, thank you so very much for tuning into the show today. We had a great time. We hope you did as well. If you want to help us out, if you want to contribute to the show in the freest of ways, you can help us out. This is a live stream, of course, so the best way you can do that is giving us a thumbs up, letting us know that you like the show and you enjoyed the content. That's what helps YouTube know that you enjoyed the content and that we should be out there a little bit more so that we can continue to grow and bring you bigger and better content. One of the other ways that you can help us while also helping yourself is to hit that subscribe button, which gets us on your homepage so you don't have to happen across us by accident, you know, in any particular day. We're right there as soon as you open up YouTube. We'll be available to you whenever you want. Plenty of content for you to go through and check us out. There's also our membership button there. You can click and join when you subscribe as well. If you're a selfish type of person and you want to do something that's just for you, you can hit that bell, make that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, we will be right back with you on Friday, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. I'm assuming you got to get out of here on time Friday, so we won't be going over. I do apologize for today, but my face is just not cooperating with everything we wanted to do on the show. So
I just want to say I love this family. They like no milk, no packet, nothing. Powder milk, waffles, syrup, no syrup, jelly, no jelly, nothing.
I don't know what is happening right now. Syrup sandwiches? What is happening right now? Noodles? What?
Noodles, no packet.
What store is the tea at? So in the description of this video is the link for ReeseSweetTea.com. All you gotta do is click that link. It takes you right to the website. We got testimonial videos. We got all kind of stuff there. You can order it by the case or you can order it by the Solo Dolo. Make sure you check them out. Listen. We are getting into position to really start getting some real shout outs going here very soon. Very excited about that. We got some partnerships coming up that we're very excited about, so stay tuned for that as well. Other than that, you got anything else? I'm just trying to keep it together with the chat. Gotta get me a grill. I love y'all. Until next time. I just, I'm like, seriously, we could be doing this in the Discord chat right now. I just need all of y'all. Like, it's seriously, it's $1.99 a month. You can't beat it, but we get to do this every single day if we want. All y'all got to do is hit that join button. I'm weird. I'm telling you, I'm weird. So yeah, right. So, all right, that's enough for now. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth No Sodium Takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis. Just 40 keys. All right, y'all have a great night. Peace. I didn't forget my name with that one. I am no Merc. Nothing. All right. We're in the stream right now. Yeah. Where is? I need the buttons. Get the buttons. Because this dude is dying right now. Y'all have a great night.